Alright, yes, thank you very much for staying with us once again and joining us on this channel, Sports 7GH. It's always a great pleasure to have you join us. In fact, in the book of Isaiah 60 verse 22, yes, God said that in his own time he will make everything right. So just keep on waiting on the Lord, and I am very certain that in the own time, in the right time of God, everything will be right. All right, yes, thank you very much for staying with us and joining us once again. Welcome Nigeria, welcome South Africa, welcome the whole of Africa and the world to this brilliant analysis of the upcoming crucial encounter involving Nigeria, the Super Eagles versus South Africa, the Bafana. We are going to bring you the team news, the head-to-head, the analysis, how the two teams play on the pitch, and what are the arsenals, what are the key things that are going to happen on the pitch tomorrow when Nigeria face South Africa. 5 p.m. Ivory Coast time, 6 p.m. Nigerian time, and then 7 p.m. South African time. We are going to bring you all the fantastic, brilliant analysis of the game, all the angles and everything you ought to know from the game, the history aspect and everything you ought to know. We are bringing you in this particular video on this channel, Sports 7GH. Africa can do well to subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit the notification bell and select all. Let me know your predictions of the game. I will reward the one who get the right prediction. So do well to leave your thoughts and comments below. What do you think the game will be the final prediction or the final score of the game? Predict that in the comment section of this video, and let's hear you over there. Thank you very, very much for staying with us. Subscribe to the channel. Now, let's start from the team news, okay? If you go to South Africa, they don't have any injury concerns. There is absolutely no injury concerns. But then if you go to Nigeria, that is where there was an injury scare in terms of Victor Osimhen, okay? He couldn't travel with the Nigerian team to Bouake, where the semi-final game will be coming on. But the news is that it's just a small abdominal issues, okay? And that he may be fit for the game tomorrow, okay? Yes, and he will travel to Bouake today as I'm speaking with you, to Bouake, and then tomorrow he will see to it that if he can play the game versus South Africa over there. But based on the report, it is obviously that Victor Osimhen is not that injured and can actually be fit for the game. So if you are South Africa, don't make plans without him. Say that, oh, he's injured, so we are not making plans without him. Obviously, you have to look at all of those issues over there. Now, let's look at some history aspects between the two teams, okay? Nigeria has won the last 4 AFCON games without conceding goals, and they could do it in 5 consecutive clean sheets in the competition for the first time since March 1982. Also, South Africa is playing their 4th semi-final in the African Cup of Nations and their first since 2000, when they were beaten or eliminated by Nigeria. South Africa again has kept 4 consecutive clean sheets in the African Cup of Nations for the first time in their history. Also, Nigeria has only 3 different goal scorers in AFCON 2023. That is Ademola Lookman, Victor Osimhen, and then William Trust-Ekong. Their lowest ranked number in a single edition since 2008, where they had Yakubu and Mikel Obi. Now, you also have this particular record. Nigeria and South Africa last met in the AFCON semi-finals in 2000, like I told you, with the Super Eagles prevailing 2-0 thanks to the brace from Tijani Babangida. Nigeria is playing their record 15th semi-final in the AFCON African Cup of Nations, while they have only advanced in 1 of the last 6 at this stage of the competition, winning the tournament in South Africa in 2013. So it looks like Nigeria, whenever they want to win the trophy, there is something concerned with South Africa. Okay, yes, they've not been qualifying to the semi-finals of the competition. From the semi-finals to the finals, anytime they are there, they will go out. But in the last 6, the last time they qualified out of the semi-finals to the finals was in 2013 when they won the trophy in South African soil, on South African soil. Do you get a point? And South Africa too are very much struggling to beat Nigeria. And let's look at the head-to-head of the two teams when they meet, okay? And it is very, very okay. So the last time actually these two sides met, it was in 2019 African Cup of Nations in Egypt when Nigeria won 2-1 over South Africa. William Trust-Ekong scored a winning goal in the die embers of the game. Okay, Nigeria won. South Africa also drew 1-1 with Nigeria in African Cup of Nations qualification. And then also South Africa beat Nigeria 2-0 in African Cup of Nations qualifications. That was on June 10th, 2017. And then also on 29th March 2015, South Africa drew 1-1 with Nigeria. And then on the 19th of November 2014, again it ended in a draw 2-2 involving the two sides. So in the last 5 games, Nigeria have 1 win, South Africa also having 1 win, and then 3 ending in a draw. And I think that this game will also end in a draw. And that one is not because of the history, but because of the form guide of the two sides. The form guide of the two sides. Now, since South Africa lost 2-0 to Mali in the first game of the African Cup of Nations, they've not lost any game. And they've scored 4 goals. Versus Namibia, scored 2 goals versus Morocco, but then didn't score any goal versus Tunisia, and then also didn't score any goal versus Cape Verde. And since conceding 2-0 versus Mali, they've not conceded again in the tournament. That's the same trend with Nigeria. Since conceding 1 goal in their first game versus Equatorial Guinea, where they drew 1-1, they've not conceded again in the tournament. So 4 clean sheets, conceding 1 goal for Nigeria, 4 clean sheets, conceding 2 goals for South Africa. So the defense of the two sides looks to tell you that, look, this game is not going to produce a lot of goals, and it is a likely draw, a likely scoring draw in this particular game, and I'm going to prove it to you. Now, if you look at the two sides now, both of them, their strength is the defense, and that is the truth. And on African soil, every time you have to make sure that your defense is very solid. Without your defense, you cannot do anything on the African soil, and that is what these two sides have perfected very, very well. They've perfected it and done it very, very well. And Nigeria obviously are going to go into this particular game with a 3-4-3 formation. A 3-4-3 formation. This is the probable or likely starting 11 of Nigeria. Stanley Nwabali will be in post, okay? And then Semi Ayeji will be part of the 3-back. William Trust-Ekong will be in the heart of the 3-back. And then Calvin Bassey will be on the left side of the 3-back formation. Ola Aina will be a wing back, right wing back. Frank Onyeka and Alex Iwobi will be the midfielders of this particular formation. And then also Seydou Sanusi will be on the wings also. Mohamed Moses Simon and then Ademola Lookman will play just behind the leading striker Victor Osimhen if he is very fit and cleared to start this particular game. Now, if you look at the Nigerian starting 11 now, of course, their strongest asset is the defense. But where they lack more is the creativity of the team. Even though in subsequent games, you can see that they look to create something from the wings. But the creativity of the team is mainly on the wings, where the likes of Moses Simon, Sanusi, Ola Aina are. But if you look at the midfield, they are party. They are not really creative there. The likes of Frank Onyeka and Alex Iwobi are not creative. So the creativity of Nigeria is from the wings. Okay, and they cut in and all of that with Ademola Lookman running into the box more often to attack behind Victor Osimhen. And obviously, Victor Osimhen will try to occupy the defenders of South Africa. But look, let's go to South Africa also. And let me tell you one thing about South African Probable 11. This is a team dominated by Mamelodi Sundowns. Their starting 11 is dominated by Mamelodi Sundowns, and one of the strongest assets of this South African team is the fact that they have a huge consistency at the back line, because the back line, including the goalkeeper Ronwen Williams All the players are Mamelodi Sundowns players. The back four plus the goalkeeper, making 5 players. They are all Mamelodi Sundowns players. And Mamelodi Sundowns just won the African Football League when they played versus I think it was with that of Morocco. Do you get a point? So they are a very solid team on the African continent, and they've brought that consistency from their. So you see, they have the telepathy, the understanding, the connection, the chemistry, and everything. They understand themselves from the club side straight to the national team. So that is their strongest asset at the defense, and that is what is helping them as the tournament goes on. We all know the strong quality of Ronwen Williams, the goalkeeper of the side. Another Mamelodi Sundowns material. He is exceptional. Look, it is not only penalties he can save. During the game, during the game, he's also very good in saves and reflexes and everything. He's just a super goalkeeper. Look. And before this tournament, if somebody is telling you to choose between Ronwen Williams and then Stanley Nwabali, obviously you are going to go for Ronwen Williams because he's a Mamelodi Sundowns player. Stanley Nwabali is just a Chippa United player. But then Stanley has come to this particular AFCON and proved his what? As a solid and quality goalkeeper. So that is the strongest asset of this South African team. Because look, if you look at Modiba, Aubrey Modiba, Mamelodi Sundowns, Motobi Vala is also Mamelodi, Granite Kakana, and then Kuliso Modeu is also Mamelodi Sundowns. Now Teboho Mokwena is also Mamelodi Sundowns player. Tepelo Morena, Mamelodi Sundowns, as well as Temba Zwane, basically the number 10 of the side. Percy of Al Ali is also a fantastic player to watch in this particular game. They have Sid Hole and all the rest also. Evidence Makopa of Orlando Pirates will lead the lines for South Africa. This is a very, very solid and rigid team. Look, Nigeria seems to have the edge over South Africa in past games. Okay, in past games, they seems to have the edge over them. But I'm telling you, this is really going to be a very, very difficult one for both sides. For both sides, because both teams, as I've monitored them, are very, very disciplined. Very, very disciplined. They know when to defend and when to attack. When to defend and when to attack. And look, South Africa are the team they can really do well, and they can score you when they have their day. That's the point. They can score you when they have their day. The likes of Evidence Makopa and then Tebo Morena and the rest. They are very, very solid attackers. When they have their day, they will score you. But then this is also a South African team that conceded a lot of chances, even though they have a very good defense. Look, in the game versus Cape Verde should have beaten them during regulation time. They conceded a lot of chances. So it tells you that if you give those chances to Ademola Lookman and Victor Osimhen and the rest of the attackers of Nigeria, they are at least going to score. But Nigeria haven't scored more than 2 goals in this particular competition. They've not done that. So it's either they are scoring 1 or 2, and then they will defend and you will not score. But this South African team is a team I suspect that they will score. And I suspect that they will keep their back very, very resolute with the help of Ronwen Williams, the goalkeeper of the side. So I think Nigeria will score, South Africa will score. The game will end in a 1-1. It will go to semi-finals. It will go to extra time, and then there will be no goals. It will go to the penalties, and then the winner will be determined there. But the winner of the penalties there, I really don't know. But as I sit here now, I am supporting Nigeria for this particular one. But what Ronwen Williams did in the game versus Cape Verde during penalties, it is one that everybody should be scared of if you're a Nigerian. And Nigeria should ensure that this game doesn't travel to penalties. They should attack, and try to find the winner during the 90 minutes or during the 120 minutes of football, and shouldn't let this game extend to penalties. You may have all the records and history against South Africa, but this is a team managed by Hugo Broos, a manager who won the trophy for Cameroon in 2017, beating the famous Egypt side. So Hugo Broos is a manager who knows how to win the trophy. He really knows the African continent and knows how to win it. And he's brought South Africa to the semi-finals of the competition since 2000. Since 2024 years ago. So it tells you that indeed this is a manager who really knows the side. And you cannot joke with such a team. So Nigeria, I am supporting you. You have my support. I'm sure you have some of the Ghanaians' support, but not all Ghanaians. But for me, I've said it countless times that I am supporting Nigeria, and I expect that Nigeria will qualify to the finals of this particular competition. What are your thoughts, comments, views, opinions, predictions of the game? Let me know all of that in the comment section of this video. Like the video, hit the notification bell, and select all. Is it going to be Amapiano or is it going to be Afrobeat? Don't forget that Tyler beat the whole of Nigerian musicians during the latest Grammy Awards. Okay, so I don't know if South Africa is going to beat them again, but let me know your comments in the comment section and we will interact over there. Thank you very much for staying with me and joining me for yet another video. Subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.